What's up, family? I'm the guy that showcases and promote African-American businesses operating here in the greater Phoenix area. Please help me further support these amazing entrepreneurs by not only supporting my YouTube channel or following me on Facebook, but also stop by their businesses and give them a little economic support. My name is Shaka Shabazz, and this is African-American-Made. Hey, how you doing today?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for this opportunity to interview you today. What an amazing business to profile, and very different from what I've done so far. So thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, thank you. This is going to be exciting.
Why don't you tell us your name, the name of your business, and where you're from?
My name is Abagail Dunn, and my company is called Motherland Jams Belly Dance. I'm originally from Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. That's a long way from home. What brought you here?
I came out here for medical school, so schooling mostly, about 12 years ago.
12 years ago, and you loved it so much you decided to stay and start a business and get it cracking out here.
I guess so. Like it draws you in. Arizona draws you in, so yes.
What are some of the major differences that you find, one or two of the major differences you find between where you came from and Arizona or the Phoenix area?
I think the biggest thing obviously is the weather. I spent a lot of time in Atlanta as well, and it normally snows there at least once a year. But out here, of course, there's no snow. The dry heat is very intense. We do not have that in Houston. It gets a lot more humid there, so that's one thing. Another is like the opportunities to get outside. I feel like Houston doesn't have as many opportunities to get out hiking and playing outside at the park and different things like that. We don't have as many parks there.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about Motherland Jams. Well, you teach belly dance. And what inspired you, or what got you into belly dance, and how long have you been belly dancing?
I've been belly dancing for 13 years this past March. So March 17th was my little bellyversary, as they call it. And I actually started dancing in Egypt when I was studying abroad in college. I found this lady. This sounds really dangerous, I tell everybody. I found this lady on Craigslist. She was teaching belly dance, and I went to her house, and then I was hooked from then on.
Wow, that's amazing. Because I was going to ask you, do you have like a background in dance, or did you come from the arts and you decided to focus on, belly dance? So you didn't have any formal training in dance or anything prior to your discovering belly dance abroad?
Actually, no, I did not.
Oh, okay.
I don't have this is the only type of dance I do, to be honest. I'm looking to get into other types, but I'm not a ballet dancer. I just started modern classes. I don't do any jazz, just belly dance, and very little salsa.
Okay, all right. So belly dancing is the joint. Okay. So what inspired you to teach belly dance? I understand that, doing it as an activity is one thing. And how long did it take you to get to the level of proficiency to teach others?
So I felt like there was a need for what I had to offer as like a Black woman in belly dancing, because it is an African dance form. I wanted to teach the African side of it. And I also wanted to have a place where people felt welcome to class. There are a lot of classes that people go to, and people mention it all the time. They don't feel welcome because of their skin color, their size, tall, short, whatever is going on. And I knew that that's just the way I operate in life. So I started a belly dance class and incorporated that. I really knew that it would just be like living a dream. So that's where Motherland Jams came about.
Wow, you beat me to the punch, because I was going to ask you what was the origin of belly dance. I thought it was, Hawaii. But of course I'm wrong. They belly dance in Hawaii, right?
No, that's hula. It's similar.
Is
but
it?
it's
I thought it was belly dancing. No? Okay, all right. I'm sorry.
It's similar. It's really beautiful too. I love some hula, but it's not.
Okay, so that's why we're here to get educated. We're here to learn about belly dance, not just not just the art, but its origin as well. So it's an African art form. Okay, all right. Is belly dance an erotic mating art form, or is it communal?
I guess it depends on the intention, right? So yes, it can be erotic because it really like opens up that creative center, that sacral chakra as people call it, and like gets things going, I guess. But in this class, it really is communal because we come together as ladies. Men can come too if they want. There aren't very many men that have come.
Well, I was asking about its origin, like originally, like, and I'm not trying to get too deep with it, but it is interesting to know, like, is it like, is it like I don't want to say, because I kind of think dancing, in a sense, correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of a ritual in and of itself,
Right. So like originally, it depends on who you ask. I've always heard that it was how ladies got together and just like celebrated each other.
Okay.
Especially when they were pregnant.
So all right.
There's eroticism involved in being pregnant. So I guess it's a bit of both. I don't know.
Okay.
That's a good question.
All right.
I'm gonna say communal.
Okay. All right. Wasn't trying to get too deep in the woods with that, but it was interesting. Just an interesting thing to think about. So, here in Arizona, what's the major demographic that's attracted to belly dancing in the United States?
Well, that depends on like where you go in the world, right? We're in the United States. So in my class, I can say normally, it's actually a really wide range of ages. I'd say like early 20s all the way up to like 50, 60, the ladies in my class, usually from out of town because we're in Arizona. So not very many natives, but there are a few. But on the East Coast, it depends, right? So there are, like, because we live in Arizona, there are not very many people of color out here to begin with. So there aren't very many in my class, but some do come from time to time. But when you're out in like New York or Atlanta and things like that, it is like heavily a lot of people of color.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So being that belly dancing originated from Africa, I guess it would be safe to say that it came with the early Africans into America, and that's how it was probably introduced to us.
So I would say yes and no. Of course, like we brought things over with us, but belly dance has changed a lot to where there are different forms, and some of those have just morphed within the United States as well. So there's like an American tribal style that did originate here in the United States. Tribal fusion also originated in many different areas. I'm not too sure where, because I do Egyptian cabaret style. But there are many different ways that belly dance came into the United States.
Okay. So that's a good segue to my next question. How many different forms or styles of belly dancing are there?
I know of at least 3. So I do Egyptian cabaret style.
Can you explain what that entails?
Yes, so that is more what we consider like the traditional style, very like slower movements, sensual belly dancing. Then there is a tribal fusion style, which I feel like is really similar to hip hop. American tribal style is really, really fun because you have to have a group with you and you give signals and everybody sees the signal and then they all do the similar dance moves. So it's kind of like choreographed improvisation, which is very cool. And then different regions in Africa and what we call the Middle East have different dance forms as well. So like Algerian belly dance looks a little bit different from the belly dance that people do in Turkey versus Morocco. So yeah, there's like a lot.
Okay, depending on the origin of the particular. Okay, and I misspoke earlier. I said Hawaii, but I guess what I really meant was Middle East belly dance, and I associated belly dance with the Middle East, which some will argue that is Africa.
Yeah,
so
because we gotta talk about
not
the
going to get into that,
imperialism. If you want to get into the imperialism, that's where I go with it. Like, you know, a lot of things are taken from Africa, and people are like, oh, this is mine. So
right, absolutely, and that makes sense. So it's still connected to the motherland. So there are different styles, and of course, like any other dance, it takes on different forms and you know, other things are added to it,
Yes,
depending
yeah.
on where it lands, right? Where people present it. So that's understandable. I am learning so much here. So in Arizona, tell me about your experience running a business, you know, serving belly dance classes.
It's a lot of fun. So, of course, you know, you have to look at the business side where you got to be like really serious. But when it comes to dancing and just getting together with people and celebrating your body, we dance to all types of music. So we're pulling out like 90s R&B and songs that we grew up listening to. It's really fun. And it's allowed me to meet so many different people who I may not otherwise have connected with.
So belly dancing can be danced to any type of music?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking maybe more, you can tell I did a whole bunch of homework here.
No, yeah.
So I guess I associate it with more traditional type of, more traditional music.
Yes.
In you know, like tribal music or something like that. So
I think most people do.
Okay,
But once again, since my premise is that it comes from Africa anyway, and that ancient music probably isn't played anymore, I play music in class that I know people will connect to. So we dance to all types of music. I always say, except for country music, we do not dance to that. So we do a lot of like traditional music as well. Today we had a trap belly dance class, which was super fun.
sorry I missed that.
Yeah, you would have loved it. We do, we've danced to like affirmation music before, because it really is about bringing in the positive vibe. Like there's affirmation music now. But I love dancing to like R&B.
Okay.
And drums, of course. We do a lot of drums too.
What style of R&B do you like dancing to?
I like 90s.
I knew you said the 90s synth
Yeah.
music, huh? Yeah, I got you.
Yes, the things you can sing to as well. Because the belly dancing, I mean, of course, yes, it definitely connects to certain music, certain moves. But since I said this is the only dance form that I've been trained in, it's just kind of the way I dance anyway. So I just kind of put on the music I like and belly dance to it. So that's how the class kind of runs.
So that makes sense. So you mentioned earlier, you mentioned something that I wanted to follow up on in terms of synchronization. Mm-hmm. Is belly dance a synchronized, in other words, you don't just do what you want to. Everybody's not off on their own doing their own thing, right?
No.
So it's so how is that communicated, or is it? Are they all choreographed numbers that you do, if you will?
So it depends on where you go. So every teacher should be choreographing their own thing. That's what I do. When I teach a choreography, it's something that I came up with. I don't teach other people's choreographies. And we don't do that unless we have permission from someone else. Mm-hmm. So in the Egyptian cabaret style, I'll pick a song that we're going to dance to, and I'll create the choreography and teach it to the class.
Okay.
There are times that we have freestyling in there, and I do let people, as long as it's on beat, you can do what you like. Mm-hmm. But with other dance forms, like American tribal style, they have signals that they do. And I'm just now learning this, but they have signals that they do, and then everyone sees it, and they all do it together. It's very beautiful. So
okay.
It depends on where you go.
So it's very regional.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is belly dancing just for women?
No, anyone can belly dance. So when I visited Egypt, there were men who belly dance because that's just the way they dance. So there are a lot of famous male belly dancers who teach classes and perform all over the world, and it's amazing.
That is a world I've never
you gotta
seen.
check it out. You gotta check it out. When we have big workshops and things, there's usually at least one or two male dancers there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like the Alvin Ailey version of belly dance. Huh?
Right.
Okay, all right. I just learned that. I didn't know that. Do you allow male dancers in your classes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We've had a few guys come to class, and it's never any weirdness. Like they're just there having fun too.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, guys, this might be a new way to, meet meet ladies, right? This is a way to meet ladies, perhaps, probably.
Open up their creative center. Like a lot of times we're really stagnant in that area, and if you're not moving it, then you're like all angry and your creativity stunted. So I would recommend it.
So, Matt, you are preempting a lot of my questions. So that was going to be my next question about what are some of the benefits of learning belly dance?
Well, I have learned one of the biggest ones, just like speaking to the ladies in my class, one of the benefits, at least to come into my class, is the positive vibe that people feel. So they feel welcome. It's, 10 a.m. in the morning. So once you fully are awake, you're able to connect with other people in the class. Belly dancing really promotes flexibility as well. So especially in that spine, a lot of the movements help to move your spine around. It promotes that creative center, like I said. So if you're not moving a lot in your sacral chakra, you may notice like your creativity is not flowing as well. Once you start belly dancing, you may notice that it opens up a little bit more.
What is a sacral chakra?
The sacral chakra, so if we're looking at like our energy centers, the sacral chakra is like right under your navel, I believe. That's where I'm gonna say it is for this. And it can
I don't want my viewers to be looking for it in the wrong place now. So
no, that's where your sacral chakra is, like near your sacrum.
Well, I certainly don't know, so thank you for showing me.
Like near your sacrum, and it's known for like creativity, like flow and all that type of stuff, and just joy in life. Like I feel like it really promotes a lot of joy.
Oh, great. Now, how does that relate to wellness?
So many ways. I mean, flexibility has been known to help with anti-aging, right? So like the more flexible you are, you're stretching a lot more, helps with aches and pains, right? So it's eliminating that. And then just being around other people definitely promotes wellness, right? Because you can talk to other people about issues you have, find out if they have some type of solution to it, different things like that. And then movement in general is always great for wellness.
Thank you so much for that. Has this form of dance always been called belly dance?
No.
What was it originally called back when the Africans was...
That I don't know, but I know in Arabic they do call it erotic, which just means Eastern dance.
Okay.
But beyond that, I don't know.
So is the term belly dance in a Western moniker? Okay, all right. Because that's the part that's moving the most, right?
That's what people think, but a lot of it's, hips and legs.
Hips and legs. But I think I'm going to partake in a belly dance class. If you would afford me one class.
Yeah, you're gonna be hooked though.
Hooked? Really? All right.
Fun. We have a good time.
All right.
Yeah.
So, going back to the business part of what you do here, because we definitely want to highlight you as a businesswoman. Where do you see your class go from here?
Well, an extension to what I'm doing now. I'm actually doing what is called a Dance into Wellness tour. So I'm going to 2 different places here in South Phoenix at Studios at Tay, and then also in Tempe, teaching different classes that I know people are interested in. So we have the trap belly dance class. Next week we're doing meditation and Reiki class, and then the week after we're doing a cheer dancing class. So I am going to be taking that on the road to different places like LA. I taught in LA several years ago, so I'd want to go back. Vegas, other places on the West Coast, and then moving out in different places. I also teach online, so I really am looking to get this class all over the world to really show people like how much fun it is to belly dance. And it's a lot easier than it looks too.
Okay, great. And is there a lot of competition out in the belly dance teaching world? Like, like fitness training is very competitive. There's a lot of people doing that, right? Online, and got other, methods of, getting clients. Is it akin to that, or is it kind of a quiet industry?
There aren't a lot of us. There aren't a lot of people teaching belly dance right now. And I feel like there are definitely a lot more people who want to learn than there are teachers. So that is kind of nice. And then we all have a different way of teaching as well. Like, I don't know of anybody else who teaches belly dance to like hip hop and trap and R&B. So that's what you're looking for.
Okay.
I'm the only one.
All right. And is there like a national belly dancer association where you guys get together annually and exchange trade secrets or anything like that? Is there any kind of organization that unite all the belly dancers together?
Not
I'm
that
just curious.
I know of. We do have workshops from time to time. Like, I went to the Mega Massive out in Vegas, and that was just workshops where we were dancing together. But as far as I know, there's not an association. And I think, honestly, that is probably for the best, because I think that would probably create a lot of dissension where it's like certain people are over it and are making it regulated and just...
Well, I meant like more like convention, trade shows, where people come together. Yeah, pardon me, I didn't ask the question correctly. Yeah, so, just where belly dancers or teachers all come together annually or whatever. You got newsletter or, or just to find out who else out there so you can exchange, trade secrets or what have you.
Yes, but not just one.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
there's a bunch of them.
Okay.
Yeah, which is nice.
So it's
you
a
can
thing
learn
then.
from
It's a
all
thing.
different people. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Great. What would you like people to know about you?
I would like people to know that I'm here in South Phoenix teaching this fun dance class, but I also do private parties and private workshops. So I've had people come in from out of town. We have their birthday party here. We dance. I go to houses and people dance. We dance out in the park. And I also have an amazing YouTube channel, Motherland Jams Belly Dance Official, where you can learn to belly dance essentially for free, but they're little short videos, right? So you take a class on Monday for like 5 or 10 minutes and then come to class on Saturday, practice what you learn. So there are many ways for you to get involved in learning to belly dance with my company.
Oh, that's awesome. And you want to, you've already expanded because you do things outside of Phoenix and you travel the country teaching belly dance and what have you. How much time do you spend in the Phoenix area in the studio?
Oh, I'm mostly here. I mostly
Okay.
am in the Phoenix area. And we have classes at least once a week. But if we're looking for private lessons, I do those throughout the week as well. So I'm mostly in Phoenix.
Can belly dancing be done in more adult environments?
Yes. So I know that some people do belly dancing like with pole dancing. I myself take pole dance classes because I think they're so fun. And it's something that I aspire to do someday, like have both. But I mean, my dance class is open for anybody. It's for children. The only thing, I ask is like, let me know before the child's coming so we don't have any cussing in the music. But the movement is really for everybody.
I feel like I have not lived lately with, like I'm missing out on so much. Where do you see belly dancing going from here, in popularity?
I feel like it's gaining in popularity, which is really exciting because I think at one point, a lot of people felt like, oh my gosh, like that woman's doing that. I could never do something like that. Whereas now people know like inside, they've always wanted to try it and they're open to admitting that they've always wanted to try it and they're coming out and doing it. I think classes are a lot more accessible now because as I said, there aren't very many belly dancers, but there are enough where you can find somebody doing it, like me, online. So then you can join my class online.
So is that where you find most of your clients?
No, most of my clients come in person.
So there's no advertising of such or anything like that? It's just maybe curiosity, who's doing it in the area, and then they find you?
Well, no, there is advertising. So I definitely am on Instagram pretty heavy and YouTube. I think most people find me on Facebook though, because I post pretty often on there. Videos of us in class, me dancing, and then people are like, I've always wanted to try that. And then they come out.
I would assume that there's a lot of great relationships that are built out of coming together like that. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
I think that's my favorite part. So one of the traditions in our class is what's called a shimmy ball circle, and I learned it from one of my instructors like several years ago, where we get in a circle and one of the dance moves is called the shimmy. So you do your shimmy, and then when you choose the person to answer the question, you pass the shimmy to them, which is like passing energy. And you just connect with people in that way, like people who are looking for, I don't know, someone to keep their dog, or like getting a new dog, like, you know, brunch buddies, all the stuff that people like talking about. So people connect on another level because it's not just a fitness class. It really has morphed into like a sister circle.
I could definitely see that. Won't you tell me what belly dancing has done for you in the years that you've been doing it and cultivated your own style and turned it into a business? What has it done for you?
Belly dancing has helped me just like create a sense of joy. So when I'm feeling down, I can pop on some music and dance. It makes me feel so amazing. It's helped me to build relationships with other people. I'm a pretty shy person, like when you first meet me. So I think that in the early days when I was performing and teaching now, it's helped me come out of my shell and just really like be more creative, which is something I really love.
Now, has the belly dancing influenced the aesthetics, your presentation, and how you present yourself to the world?
Somewhat. You know, like this is maybe off topic or maybe what you meant. Like several years ago, my hair fell out. And I think before becoming a belly dancer, I would have never imagined like dancing bald or like presenting myself in this bald form. But I think belly dance, you know, it has cultivated a more confident side of me. So I'm out here doing it.
You're out here in these streets doing it.
Yeah.
Well, definitely. I feel like you have a very beautiful aura. And I heard you interact with some of your students earlier, and I was ear hustling, and it sounds like you have an amazing connection with the people that you that you dance with, or you teaching. So and I feel that. I felt that the moment I walked in, and the way you greeted me, and the way you welcomed me in. So won't you tell us where can we find you, and what are your hours of operation?
So the best place to find me is my website, motherlandjams.com, and on there you'll find links to my YouTube and my Instagram, but motherlandjams.com, and if you have questions, email me at boss@motherlandjams.com. So my hours of operation, the main class I teach is Saturdays at 10 for belly dance. I have evenings open, depends on what I'm doing that week, for private lessons as well. But the main hour for belly dancing is Saturdays at 10.
Do you get many requests, a lot of requests for private lessons?
I get more requests for group parties than private lessons. Because we normally, like, some ladies are just getting together for a birthday party or bachelorette party or something like that. I did a Christmas party once, a crazy Christmas sweater party. So people love doing private parties and having somebody come and teach a belly dance class. And then they realize, like, oh wow, this is a lot harder than they thought. So
what
I
is
need
one
to come more often.
So what is one of the, in that regard, what is one of the craziest parties you have been asked to do?
I mean, I feel like some of the birthday parties get a little like silly. It's never crazy. Like nobody's ever like turning flips or like anything like that. But it always surprises me. I feel like it's usually like the most straight-laced, like classiest ladies who like her song comes on and she just like goes crazy on the dance floor. Those are always a lot of fun.
So do you kind of keep it structured to do, are you there to like teach, or are you there to perform?
I'm there to teach. So I have not done a performance for a group in a while. I did the Renaissance Fair a couple weeks ago, but that was my first time performing in quite some time. So normally I just teach.
Okay, great. Well, again, thank you so much for this opportunity to talk to you. This has been such a delight and a very fun interview. I hope that you have much success, and I'm coming in to get a belly dance. I want to try this. You know, I might even bring the camera to make a fool of myself. And
no, it'll be good. It's African dance. It's in there.
Yeah. But you know, I'll be honest. I've never seen a brother do, and when I say brother, I mean men. I've never seen a brother do belly dance. So I really feel like I've been under a carpet somewhere. So. Is there anything else you would like to tell our audience before we wrap it up?
Make sure you subscribe to this channel. This is fantastic. It's wonderful for our community. So I appreciate the opportunity so much.